Hi again, I'm Stephen Worley. Now we're going to talk about how to better sell the web in combination with broadcasting, both radio and television. The most important thing to be aware of, and I'm going to repeat it again, you're going to hear me talk about this in a couple of trainings. At the end of the day, as a broadcaster, when you're talking to a client, you're selling the awareness and the promotional power of broadcasting, combined with the engagement and direct marketing power of the web. And we are generating very specific results for our clients. Because in the age of the web and digital media, even television and radio broadcasting is going to become more and more accountable than it has ever before. And advertisers are going to demand that of us. Another way I like to think of it is kind of like an iceberg. The tip of an iceberg is broadcasting, radio and television. And the bottom of the iceberg, underneath this vast ocean, is content, is a vast archive of web content that people can go to once they're driven from radio or television. When they hear something on the radio or they're watching something on television, they can find specific content that means something to them on our websites. So kind of keep that image in your head of the relationship between broadcasting and the web. Another way to think about it, radio and television broadcasting are constantly putting ideas in people's heads. As you're on your way to work, you're watching a television program, it's kind of like a conveyor belt going by, kind of always planting a new seed of thought. And then because when people get that idea, when we give them those ideas in broadcasting, we can now send them somewhere in a very targeted way. We can funnel them to our websites so they stay with our brand and they get more information, and they, in a way, customize their experience, but they first heard about it on our air, on our radio or television broadcasts. And they have this wonderful ability to create a network around themselves now. They get to connect with our content, with content from our community, and they get to connect with not only us, our talent on air, but also with other members of the community that we've created around our brand. Think about this. Every time your folks are watching television today, most Americans have access to a computer really in the same room, in their living room or their family room. So many people have laptops today and they're surfing the web while they're watching television. So the web has forced television to become more of a two-way medium. So we can say things on television in our programs or even in our advertisements and get somebody to do something right then and there. And that's what advertisers really want to hear. A wonderful example of this is the Progressive car insurance ads.
Every day, Progressive does something that's, well, progressive. They have this ticker that shows their car insurance rates and their top competitors. Right now on Progressive.com, you can see actual rates that people are getting. Sometimes Progressive is the lowest. Sometimes they're not. Hey, if they're this helpful when you're shopping for car insurance, imagine how they'll be once you're a customer.
The wonderful thing about Progressive, can you imagine you're sending people to your website and it might have some of your competitors' information and they might even be cheaper than you are. So you might be sending some potential customers to your competitors. But that's not the real brilliance behind what Progressive did in this campaign. They are creating, if you will, a Google of car insurance information. Their research showed them that most people are willing to research car insurance information online, and almost as many are ready and willing to buy car insurance online right then and there. So actually, if they can plant in the consumer's mind that they are the end-all be-all destination for car insurance information, they're actually going to make more money because they're the first stop. And most people are going to buy that car insurance from them because they were the first stop on the web. Some other things to remind yourself when you're selling the web with broadcast. You want to remind your client that you're accelerating the sales cycle. So you might have heard something on radio or television and direct them to a website so that they might be able to sign up for something. Or even better, they might buy something. You're directing them right to the point of sale. They don't have to remember the commercial next time they happen to be out shopping. We can direct them to the point of sale right now. We also want to be much more conscious of selling packages to impact our clients' return on investment. We don't want to sell individual platforms. We don't want to say, here's a month's worth of radio spots and then we're going to throw in a few display ads. That is not selling the web and broadcasting together very effectively. We have to make sure that that message is seamless across all platforms, and we want to sell our clients a comprehensive package, and we'll talk more about that in future trainings. Also, when we're selling the broadcast with the web, we really want to focus on specific niches and specific demos because we want to direct people to a specific opportunity that means something to them online. And I know this sounds counterintuitive because in broadcasting, we always want to try to create content that appeals to as many people as possible. But when we are creating an experience between broadcast and the web, that is not the most effective way. It dilutes the message. We have to be very specific. You have to remember that ROI, return on investment, that's the new rating. That is the magical number that cuts across all platforms, digital and otherwise, and that is the only number that a client cares about. We've all been there in broadcasting when we might have over-delivered on the audience that we sold to the advertiser, but they still weren't happy. And why? Because their number, their measure for success wasn't impacted. And remember, that's all they care about. In the next training, I'm going to start pointing out some key strengths that you possess as a local broadcast sales professional that is going to give you a leg up on the competition in terms of selling online advertising.